But I kind of want to go a little sideways here. Um, ASAP Rocky was found not guilty for, I think he shot a fake, so he said, a fake gun at one of his ex friends because they were beefing over something. And it's more of a hip hop culture question. And I think I want to compare it, not to always bring up Elon Musk, but I think it's funny how this case happened and people kind of look at it like, I was reading comments on Instagram because I really like to see how people respond to certain things as opposed to others. So people were saying that he shouldn't have gotten off. He was on video doing it, and because he was Rihanna's cool with Jay-Z, that's why he got off. But then you see, we've said this before, but Elon Musk, who has kids by all these random women. I don't want to make it seem like it's 25, but basically, he's out here racing Nick Cannon to see how many kids he has because there's some story coming out, and I don't know if this is true. It still hasn't been confirmed about this lady that's supposed to have had his 13th child, and people want to make fun of Nick Cannon, but then Elon Musk comes up, and it's like, oh, he's just out there doing his thing. He's a billionaire. And again, going back to defending billionaires, he's a billionaire, so it doesn't matter what you think about him. But you want to roast Nick Cannon. I think if we're going to talk bad about somebody, I don't care who you are, what you do. If you're out here being reckless, and again, that's also a matter of opinion. Some people might think he's doing his part, to him and Nick Cannon, to help the American population. But what's the old saying go? You got to call a spade a spade. I think that's kind of what we're looking at here. So people wanted to talk about Obama's family, just trash him. And he had basically the perfect family. And then we have people like Trump and Elon Musk, who these same people are licking their boots. It just, it's crazy to me. I have no words for it, honestly. It just really makes my blood boil because, again, like I said about Biden and Trump, if somebody did something wrong, I get that. I don't care who did it. If you did something wrong, if I did something wrong, we should be able to say, hey, that was wrong, whether we did it, Trump did it, our worst enemy did it. So I just kind of want your take on how people can kind of compare, or what you actually think is causing people to see things one way here, but then another way over here.
I think it goes back to what we were talking about before, being in this echo chamber where everybody wearing a blue hat is a bad person. So it doesn't really matter if they only have one wife and they had a wife first and then they had kids and it's the same family, and now the kids are grown and they're still one family. I don't think it matters because if they're wearing a green hat, you have to hate them. You got to find something about them to hate because that's what your little bubble has told you to do. That's what your echo chamber has told you to do. Meanwhile, you have the people in, say, the blue hats who can't really do any wrong. They can be vandals, they can be thieves, they can be felons, they can really be whatever they want. But if they're wearing that blue hat, then we have to support them because that's what our echo chamber said. Now, you and I both know, and probably much of your audience knows, that I am using a blue hat to be symbolic and a green hat to be symbolic. But I think we all know what we're talking about. And it's very sad, and it's not new. So if you've been paying attention, if you've ever even peeked outside of your echo chamber to see what's going on, then you know what I'm talking about. But it doesn't change the reality of the people with the green hats on. They're still who they are. So whether they're Rhodes Scholar, whether they're the patriarch of one single family with a single mom and two kids, whether or not they were on the Harvard Law Review, it doesn't matter what you say about the people in the green hats because they're going to keep doing what they've been doing. They're going to keep being excellent. The people in the blue hats are going to keep doing what they've been doing. The issue where I think we messed up is that we gave the people in the blue hats the keys to the kingdom and they have no idea what they're doing. And because they have blue hats, no one's checking them. Now, that comment may or may not age well, but I'm pretty confident in saying that right now. So, hey, circle back 6 months, a year, and let me know how wrong I was about that.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think it really, going off of that, it kind of reminds me of that. It's that obvious, and I guess that's what really upsets me. You think about ASAP Rocky or Lil Durk, who is on video doing this, that, and the other. They get off, people are enraged, and then you see somebody like a Kyle Rittenhouse or George Zimmerman, who basically, we're doing the same.
Also on film, I
Yeah,
should say, or recorded.
yeah, and all of a sudden they're celebrating, they're getting deals, and people are the same people who are criticizing this side are blatantly over here saying, hey, these people were defending themselves, they were doing this, they were doing that. And it does make you think either there's such a strong American bias at the root cause of this, or like you said, these people, these elites, whether they're billionaires, whether they're media moguls or whatever, they're using this because they know that this base, like you said, if they have a blue hat on, doesn't matter what they say, they're like, okay, I believe what they say, and anybody who argues with that is an enemy, is a liar, is a trickster, and all of that. So that's really what I think you're seeing here. And that's why I just thought it was so interesting that not only this case was covered so much, but that he got off. And I'm glad he did, because based on what I read about it, it really was something that shouldn't have evolved into this. But I mean, this guy has been arrested, in Switzerland he was jailed, or wherever he went, and he was locked up over there for something that was crazy. I don't know if it was weed or whatever, but you'll see these people that are over here. It reminds me of that Brittany Griner thing when everybody was like, she's just a basketball player, we should have left her over there, all this, all that. But then, again, you'll see the same thing happen with the police, for example, who shot Philando Castile while he was doing exactly what the police told him. And there were people over here that were defending the officer's actions. Like he shouldn't have had a gun in the car with the baby, or he should have moved more slowly. But there was no excuse for that. And that was also on video. Mm-hmm. And it's just so interesting how people will see one thing this way and then see the exact same thing happening over here, but the roles are reversed, and then all of a sudden we have a different story.